Hi folks, sorry about that. I got cut off. But anyways, we're back for another Let's Play in history, and we're gonna be doing Abraham Lincoln. Just a deeply complicated president who is a very fascinating human being, to put it mildly, and to put it as plainly as one can put it. Important in just about every single degree and every single regard. No president, I think, exudes so much love, criticism. He is the encapsulation of the United States in so many different ways, and it's hard to really make sense of a lot of the things that happened during his time as president and his overall life and where things were going to ultimately be headed. And I think he's just someone that I don't think the history books will never truly, I just don't think it'll ever truly be resolved, if that makes any sense. There's always going to be something that pops up. Both sides would like to use him for their ideological and political gains. I mean, take for example, like today, it's like people use Abraham Lincoln as the, like, oh, well, you know, Republicans aren't racist, we're the people that, you know, stop slavery and stuff like that. Look at Abraham Lincoln, he was a Republican, you know? But it's also like, you know, Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus and quite literally ruled the federal government with kind of just a bit of a tyrant boot for many years of his presidency, which people don't want to talk about. They don't want to put that part into the ether, because, you know, it's like, yeah, we're literally just like those people who really should not be in political office to begin with, and yet we're going to use him as, you know, this example to show that we don't have the racist bone that you think we do. Oh yeah, that worked out pretty well. Okay. Now let me start off by saying, do I think he was a bad president? I don't think he was a good president. I don't think he was a bad president. Can you justify some of the things that he did back then? Probably. I don't think he was the strictest constitutionalist by any stretch of the imagination. And I think, had he gotten another term, I think this country looks very different in a very bad way. I personally might be in the minority in that regard, in that degree, so I will be fair with that sentiment. Nope. Where can this go without blocking? Nope. These controls are really, like, they are so touchy. Can I? Oh my god, fucking game. Ugh, there we go. I'm about to have a conniption right now. Can't catch me. Beat that ass, son. Beat that ass. Now with Abraham Lincoln, I'm not going to go into like the most extreme detail about his entire life. Maybe some things, I might just detail certain things that people probably don't know about him, or they don't get talked about too often. Everyone knows Abraham Lincoln's life story for the most part. You know, the whole purpose of me doing these little history things is because not a lot of people talk about James Buchanan as a whole, as an ideological, like, political figure. So I think it'd be fair to talk about people like him. I also think it is important to talk about, you know, other people too, and Abraham Lincoln's one of these individuals who is deeply fascinating as well, you know, and one whose legacy just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. I think the longer we live, it's just never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop being weird. It's the unfortunate reality of his time and the political climate that permeated that particular era too. In fairness, all the drama and the scandals. First and foremost, I would note that most of the politicians back then, and you know, presidents in particular, tended to follow under certain denominations of Christendom. I should point out that Abraham Lincoln's probably the first one that doesn't specifically follow under any specific any specific sect of Christianity. He is by definition, I think, non-denominational, which I understand when I point these things out of Christendom, and it's just to give people a certain idea and how they would govern, or certain personality things that I think are very important to exude. You know, like if you're like an evangelical, you know, and you're not gonna be like, oh my God, you know, like you know, going to church and doing Christian revitalizations and stuff like that. It's not what that means to me. It just means like you're probably going to hold certain aspects of the Christian faith to a much larger, I guess, sterner degree than you would other aspects. So you might value more like what's the word? You might value more things in particular than other things. Or if you're like maybe Episcopalian, then you're probably going to value maybe property rights more than you would like actual anything else, really, you know. That's pretty much how I would probably look at it. So it's like, okay. But that's what also makes Abraham Lincoln a little bit interesting, because he's kind of just a bit of an unknown. Most people back then, if they were in a particular, you know, Christian ideology or Christian sect, they probably more or less followed along those religious signs, and I always find it very fascinating because they really do. It does align pretty well for a lot of them, specifically. What also makes Abraham Lincoln pretty interesting too is he doesn't really have any, I guess, allegiance to any political party. He ends up being a Whig largely because he ends up growing up more in the North than anything else, and doesn't own slaves. He's never owned slaves. And I think that, crap. Okay, well, that happened. Oh God, I'm so close yet so far. I can get there, people. I can get there. I was hoping I could do it in this level, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Now, other things to note with Abraham Lincoln, his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, got married very young. think they have 4 children, 2 of which died pretty young. Because when he enters, well, 2 of them died very young. One of them, I think when he was 4, and the other 2 sons, well, his oldest, Robert, ends up graduating. Actually, I think he does end up joining Congress at some point, but he specifically is the only one that does anything. He has his other brother, what's his name? Thad, something like that. Thaddeus or something. I forgot what his name was. He dies pretty young though. He ends up dying. He dies after his father passes away. He lives past his father, but he dies at like 18. People say it's a heart attack. It gets real murky when it comes to stuff like that. Could be, who knows. Maybe he had like some sort of a heart defect, but that was unrealized or unknown at the time. But you know, it is what it is. Okay. You can blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby. Let me know. I got the cold. There we go. That's what I wanted. See, you know what to give me. Just give me bolts, okay? And again, of note with his marriage to Mary Todd Lincoln, it's always interesting to note that she came from a very, very wealthy slave-owning family, which is always going to be peak criticism of both Mary and Abraham Lincoln, which is fair, because it's like, how can you do all this? And then, you know, there's always contention with the family, and a lot of people, and you know, they disown Mary because, you know, she was married to the president who's trying to stop. Oh crap! I gotta pay attention more. Running away. Who's trying to stop the ownership of slaves and stuff like that. I don't have any gun. I do not. Yeah, I mean, I could probably get in close enough with this, but I just don't have anything. No. Duh.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
There we go. Much simpler, much better. Crap. Crap basket. Really? I swear this game. So I think I'm just gonna get certain things out of the way. Was Lincoln some tyrant, some maniac, some, you know, monster of the Republic in a lot of ways? Was he someone who was gonna did actually what he was supposed to do? Like, what was Abraham Lincoln, you know? And I think that's a very tricky subject for a lot of people. See, that was so simple. So simple. So here are the things that we can, at the very least, put on record and do know that are relatively true about Abraham Lincoln. He was, I think by most, if not all accounts, manic depressive. I think probably people and psychologists would agree that specifically he probably had some form of bipolar disorder. How? Well, that's just not fair. Run. Suck it. Can't get me. Whoa! Totally tubular. Okay. I can't really do much. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going from here. Oh. There we go. Yeah, maybe I can get enough if I just keep doing this. And just spray and pray, basically. Holy crap. Boom, shakalaka boom. You guys see that? That's what it was. That's how I do. But yes, he probably had issues with certain aspects of bipolar disorder. Some people would say he's moody in the White House. Mood swings, manic depressive, you know, very doom and gloom, and then also at the very same end of the spectrum, very optimistic at the same time. So it's kind of a little chaotic for a lot of people and a lot of things, and I think that has something to do with it.
Come and get me, hero.
Alright, this ship battle. Forgot.
Perhaps we could obtain a ship in there.
Great idea. Let's go. You know, Ratchet, I'm doing this for your own good. No, why would you want to go and do a thing like that?
terrible right now.
Time to get up close and personal. Enough practicing. Let's have some fun.
That's gonna help. As well then. That's really not a lot of health. Cheapskates. Crap. I gotta avoid asteroids and nonsense. This part's just tedious. It's probably my biggest problem with these games is these ship battles are just not particularly fun. Especially in the early games. I mean, it's a little bit better in going commando. I will say that, but it's not like it's that substantial an improvement. Shake it, shake it, shake it, money maker. Shake it, money maker.
You're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Like, I remember when I first played this particular mission, I literally died just because I ran into asteroids like 3 times in a row. Right, especially right when I was about to complete it, and I'm just like, this game, I swear. It's just gonna test your resolve. That's all it is. It's just gonna test your resolve.
You think you got me?
Oh,
Catch me if you can.
I don't know what's happening right now. Pulling out all the things. Can't really do barrel rolls and stuff yet. Oh, definitely could use that. So that's a big plus. I was caught in the middle of a railroad track. I definitely need to be on my A game
I was just following orders.
and be far more cautious, even if this part's really starting to get tedious. Oh, come on, I'm right there. There we go.
Mayday!
Ugh.
Mayday! Well, Ratchet, I'd say you passed the test.
Hyped. Hyped.
Oh, boy.
So I'm one more part away from getting my damn rhino gun.
Yes! Quark is history.
Despite my earlier criticism, I must admit, your piloting skills are improving.
I knew you'd come around.
But that has not helped us locate Drek.
Come on, Clank. Can't you just once relax and enjoy a little success? Hey, you want to catch Drek? Bet you this baby can do it.
This is Darla Gratch reporting
Chaos
live
on
from
this
Border
planet.
City. This once peaceful planet is being torn apart today in an unprovoked attack. It now seems certain that Supreme Executive Chairman Drek will not be dissuaded in his efforts to destroy the galaxy for his own selfish needs. All hope certainly seems lost.
Darla Gratch, Channel 2 News.
Yes, I know. It is worse than I expected, too.
Look, maybe you were right. This is a lot bigger than you or me. I was really selfish focusing on Quark.
It is not too late to stop Drek.
Hey, yeah, we've got this new ship. Let's go get him.
Now you are talking.
Okay, now we're gonna go to this one and finally get my damn gun after this level. Now, I should also note, too, that Lincoln's childhood was very, very, very rough. I think it's fair to say that,
Clank?
like
Clank?
many of his predecessors who were poor,
Captain.
that there were certain difficulties
No
that
football.
did
It's me,
occur.
Ratchet.
And Abraham Lincoln's probably
You got toasted by lightning.
is the most extreme outside of maybe Millard Fillmore to a certain
I'll
degree.
be right back.
Let me adjust myself, because he in particular like really grew up in a actual log cabin in Kentucky. His wife dies or his mom dies at a very young age. His stepmom doesn't particularly like the family and kids. I mean, it's a whole slew of things. Some real difficulties in Abraham Lincoln's young life. It should be noted he was always a curious young man as well, and I think really loved reading and it was actually encouraged by his stepmom, by the way, to read, to learn, to be able to produce, which I think are all very good traits. Oh, come on, son. Come on. Not what I wanted to happen. I wanted to happen that way. Would have let it happen that way, but it's not what I wanted. Ugh. Say 2, I think. Nope, 3. It's gonna explode. Alright, if I don't make it to this part, I'm gonna just load up on guns and just hope for the best next time. Yeah, I'm just probably gonna load up on guns and ammo. Oh, now you guys don't want to kill me? This game is real stingy with whether or not they want you to live or die.
I got some great bargains for you today.
Might as well just reload everything,
Oh, that's a-
just in case, because you never know. You really never know.
Oh, that's a nice one.
And then, you know, just growing up for young Abraham Lincoln, just very interesting things, interesting times too. I think he's probably the era's equivalent, or it's probably the closest thing to a hippie that you're gonna get in like in the 1840s, relatively speaking. I think that's a fair statement to say. It's like, which is why I think his denomination of Christianity specifically is non-denominational. It's because he was a very deeply spiritual man who didn't believe in any one particular idea or ideology of what constitutes Christ himself, you know? Yeah. This is working out much better. Craziness. Okay. Thank you, Glove of Doom. You know, after this part, if I have enough, I'm going to get my gun. I don't care. I just want my gun so badly. I need my gun. Ah, crap baskets. Really? Explode into their faces. Thank you. God. Of course. Just gonna... Just gonna throw that on my face and then just have me just take it. You think I'm just gonna do that? I think that's what... Oh god. Crap. Oh. It's not how I wanted to go, but that's how it went. So, take it for what it is. Oh, God. This is just complete absolute. You know what? That one's 100% on me. That one's... There's just no excuse for that. That's just stupid by me. Do I have any health here? Nope. Okay. But here we go. Take that. You ain't gonna get me, son. Whoo! Well, bam! Guys can just suck it. Ooh, well, bam! Suck it! Oh, I gotta buy more crap. They really don't want me to buy this gun. They don't want me to have this unfair advantage because they know I'm good. They know I'm the best.
Are you okay?
They know that I am the guy, okay?
I can make you a deal on a busted turburator, a mangled carbonizer, or I got this info bot. Guess that bombing was pretty loud, huh? Oh, you're one shrewd negotiator. I'll tell you what. I can let this info bot go for half price.
Ugh.
Well, that's about it for me. Thanks. Quit your complaining. I gave you a great deal. Jeez.
Afraid to go out at night? Afraid to go out during the day? Just plain afraid? Then you need this. The Ultra Mech Unlimited. This mech is the ultimate in personal defense system. Large Industries is now taking pre-orders. Get yours before it's too late.
Now that's what I call serious firepower. Clank's gonna be jealous if he sees this.
Now for Abraham Lincoln growing up, everyone knows he loved to read, hippie, poetry, art, pretty much everything that he could do. Weirdly enough, also despite, you know, growing up pretty poor and, you know, relatively in comparison, I would say somewhat destitute in comparison to, say, his contemporaries and just the other people that he like, how do I put it? he kind of grew up just lazy. Didn't really do too much. Didn't contribute much to really anything, except for reading. Yeah, I was ready. I was just ready to die. There we go. Much better. Now we get full health. How can I shoot this son of a gun down? That's the question. I can. How many? Probably shouldn't have done that. Or maybe I should have. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Right side, I'm gonna have enough to get my gun, which will be the end of this part whenever that occurs. God, there's one up here. Probably remember that. Oh, good lord. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Hoot. I'm right there. The joy in my face right now. You cannot comprehend it. Oh god. Okay. See if we can be real sneaky boys here. Whoa. Making me a real sneaky boy. Running, 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 running. Oh my god, wait for that to come back now. Dang it. Didn't really do much growing up. Worked job to job. Was a deckhand at one point, going to New Orleans at times. And then kind of just settled down and figured out, you know what? I'm gonna marry Todd Lincoln, and then I'm gonna study law, and then I'm gonna do all these things. Crap. Ugh. I'm gonna do all these things and actually kind of contribute to society a little bit. Good for him because he had the aptitude to do so. He was a part of militias during the Black Hawk Wars at a certain point. I think when he moved and lived in New Salem. Are you... What? Can someone... You know what? I'm going. I have just enough. I'm not gonna entertain this idea anymore. I'm just gonna go and get it. Happily so. Blackwater City. I'm getting my gun.
Well, I guess Quark didn't eliminate them.
How observant of you.
Thank you, sir.
How if you were only so diligent in doing your own job?
Yes, sir.
Since our new planet is nearly finished, we need a plan to remove the world that is occupying our selected orbit. This time it must be absolutely foolproof. Time is wasting.
Now, once he is in his mid-20s at this point. Most of his life is devoted to law, beginnings of his family. He finally settles down in what is New York City. Yeah, okay. In what is let's make sure I have enough. Can I go back down? It will let me go back down. Let's go, I get my gun. 150,000 volts. Oh crap. Can I not come back up? It's pretty loud. Yes. Okay. Gonna get my gun. It's gonna be worth it. Don't need anything else. I just need this gun. That's all I need. My life will be complete. Yeah, buddy.
This thing is heavy. Yeah, try carrying it around in your trench coat for 2 months.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Be
buddy.
sure to tell everyone about your services.
Listen, you little twerp. If you tell anyone what you saw, what we talked about,
Do I even have to say it?
yous two have a nice day.
Yeah, buddy. Now, for those of you who don't know, let's see what this thing does. Yeah. That's perfect. How much ammo? How much does ammo cost for the
I
right
got
now?
some great bargains for you today.
20 bucks. That's just music to my ears, bro. Okay, now we're gonna go try and complete this mission, just get this level over with, because I would like to just vibe and chill for the rest of the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much just like automatic instant kill. And it's just not even funny. I mean, it is a little funny. Oops. For the most part, Abraham Lincoln doesn't really have much of a political career or political. I mean, he's a part of. Once he settles his roots in Illinois, he becomes a part of their state legislature. Does a bunch of things there. Wins a bunch of cases. A lot of people point to that famous case where he points out and effectively points out the discrepancy of someone's murder because they were able to use an almanac and figure out based off of his description of what the moon was that night. Cool stuff, I guess, you know, but it's whatever. little things I think tend to shape the history of Abraham Lincoln in a lot of these ways, and you know, they're just fascinating perspectives, I think. He then married Todd around that time, because he marries, I don't want to say late, but he marries like in his mid 20s, mid to late 20s at that point. There we go. I love this gun so fucking much. I try not to curse because I don't want to upset people, and I do want this to be a little bit more just family friendly in a lot of ways. Even though I will be playing some very violent games. Point being, I'd rather just not be trying to curse as much as I usually do. But boy, oh boy, I just think this gun's a lifesaver. And let me see, it's around this time too that things for Abraham Lincoln get really interesting. He starts developing personal rivalries, namely with other political figures, namely Stephen Douglas, who would be, I guess, his Illinois contemporary, someone he would run against for president. A lot of interesting figures around this particular time and era that, dang it, that are permeating around this time, that are developing around the Midwest, not just the East Coast. East Coast has largely lost a lot of its luster, unfortunately, in particular certain states, and I think that has to do more so with, change that, make this the go-to, and make, and I think it just made things a little more difficult for, oh, God. No, it just made things more difficult for people, I think, because of the issue with North-South slavery and stuff, that a lot of people tended to be probably not necessarily antagonistic towards the ideals of the North and the South, but you know, I think people had their lines, and instead of being like, oh, you know, we're gonna trade with you, Virginia, and do all these things, we're just not gonna do that anymore. I don't know. I always just find it fascinating, because I mean, you understand, Virginia is like one of the most populous and prominent states within the Union, and it goes from being just a state of complete and utter dominance, let's just call it for what it is, to really, oh, look at that destruction son, to one where, you know, it eventually kind of just starts falling apart, and there's a lot of reasons for it, but understandable reasons, in fairness. But largely, just it kind of just starts going away as westward expansion continues aggressively. So, more foray again. Now I gotta go over there and do whatever the quark thing is.
I got some great bargains for you.
It's crazy. It's only $20 a bullet. It's ridiculous to me. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, go play. Clank, 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 clank. Okay. Don't make me bust out my rhino. I don't know why. I'm just so excited. Now, as his practice started getting bigger, he started becoming much more of a prominent figure, and you know, becomes more and more influential as time goes on. He ends up starting to think about his future, both in terms of Congress, in terms of the health of his family, not actual health, but you know, like the political future and potential ventures that he and his family are going to be able to do. I mean, he's a very well-known lawyer, a very prominent lawyer. A lot of people describe him as like kind of just like a almost spiritual weirdo. Not in a bad way, just more like he's such an enigma, this Abraham Lincoln's, you know? Is he a bohemian? What is he all about, you know? Like, they're kind of like thinking of him like that. You know, he's like this weird soul to a lot of people, and I think that in a lot of ways resonated with a lot of people, that he's just this kind of strange figure overall. Yeah, people also should probably know, people speculate that he was gay. I don't know. I just feel like this is another example of them just trying to be like, well, of course Abraham Lincoln is gay, you know, because contemporary times, like people who think he's gay, just I don't think they've had like maybe any male bonding or camaraderie ever. They've never witnessed it in their lives. Because I'm just like, I don't know, there's been oh god, are you serious, game? Because I don't know, there's many moments where I'm just like, I'll see people post things on Twitter, for instance, and I'm just like, so gay, and then I'm just like, dude, that's like a special moment between two buddies, and it's just like guys can share their feelings, can share their emotions, you know. It's just different with two bros, where it's just like, you know, most times we end up repressing our actual, let's say, emotional hardwiring, but there's other times where, you know, it's okay, you know. Like, people can be intimate without actually being of another sexual orientation, or, you know. Now this is just starting to really piss me off. Okay. Gotta be really careful. This is my only problem with older games of this particular time and era, is that they are so aggressively unforgiving, and a lot of it is due to the nature and fault of the control schemes and what they were trying to do back then. You know, partially their fault, other times it's a little less so. You know, I'll be fair in my like critiques of things. But like, this is an example where it's like, you know, if you just made your game a little bit tighter, which they thankfully do in the sequel, because in Going Commando, oh, it's such a drastic change. So many things for better, and it's still a lot of things that definitely need to be worked on, but certainly far bigger and far better improvements than in this game. And necessary improvements too. You know, I probably deserve that one. Where am I supposed to go? Pretty sure it is over here. Okay. Yeah, okay. And I'm supposed to go like, well, bam. Then that's when I just go haywire. Oh, God. Hey, Quark.
Captain Quark!
Where?
Come on, Quark, I know it's you.
The name's Steve. Pleased to meet you.
Look, Steve, I need to know where Drek is before it's too late.
Did you say too late? Sir,
But Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln eventually do get married and have their 4 children. He has cold feet, by the way, which I always find funny. And at this point, he's probably well into his 30s when they actually do get married. 'Cause I think their courtship starts a little bit earlier than that, but you know, he's a bachelor for a lot of his life, which I think also leads to speculation about his homosexuality. Whatever. Eventually, though, he does end up deciding to join the Whig Party after some time. This leads to him, which was pretty customary back then, especially in Illinois and just that general and particular area. Can I just jump down? I can just jump down, can't I? Just make this go by so much faster. Whoa, so trippy. Just let me... But to briefly talk about his political history, he doesn't really have much of one, which is always even more fascinating to me. Because I think he ends up just winning because he's a really good speaker. Oh, come the fuck. It's moments like this that just make me want to throw my controller right now. I'll just level with you on that, because this is just annoying. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to end the part here. Thank you guys for listening. Then we'll get into the beginnings of what is his presidential career, his congressional career. Like and subscribe. God bless. You guys rule. Stay tuned.